MLS Aces Podcast. This is your host, Tom Sweezy. This is episode 354. We are here with Jason Vivang. Jason, we are not in an overly rushed mood this week, so that's good.
No,
That's nice.
we're improving, honestly. I feel like.
Well, I want to say an early happy Thanksgiving to you and to
Yeah.
everyone listening. We are going to drop this probably a day early than normal, just so people can listen to us talk about the games that happened this past
While
weekend.
they're driving to their Thanksgivings or
Exactly,
flying,
right? Like,
whatever
just
whatever you're doing while you're traveling.
and we want the games fresh from this weekend still in your brain. We want you to be thinking about the games this upcoming weekend and everything like
You have
that.
6
So
people in the car. Put us on speaker.
exactly, all of you should. All of you should put us on speaker while you're there. Like, subscribe, rate, review, all that fun stuff. But it is a thankful time of year, Jason, right? And with that, we are getting to our normal end of the soccer season across all of our leagues. And we have all of our champions except for Major League Soccer at this point. All of our professional soccer leagues have their champions. Gotham FC won their NWSL championship, 1-0 over the Washington Spirit this past week. Shout out Rose Lavelle for the game winner there. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they won in PKs over Tulsa FC in the USL Championship. We were all Tulsa, Jason, if you do remember. So unfortunately, we got the L there along
Yeah.
with Tulsa. USL League One Knoxville took down Spokane Velocity 2-0. One Knoxville. They got the USL League One double, the regular season and the playoff title. MLS Next Pro, New York Red Bulls 2 defeated the Colorado Rapids 2 in a PK shootout, and Michael Bradley winning his first trophy as a manager of New York Red Bulls 2 in MLS Next Pro. So just some
The Bradley family will be in U.S. soccer for the rest of our lives.
Michael Bradley's most likely the next manager of the New York Red Bulls. Let's also just call it what it is. But it is a fun time of year for soccer around the United States as leagues start to wrap up. But in a few years, it won't be like this, and we'll be adjusting to a mid-season
We'll
break.
have to talk about all of these endings while we're starting or going into
Mid-year break. All right. So the only major, and apologies to anyone listening, a little under the weather, so I'm doing my best to manage the voice so I can talk for
You sound
a total
great.
of an hour. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But the only MLS news I feel like we really need to cover here, Jason, is the news I think you and I have been expecting for 2 years now, and
Yeah.
that comes in the form of Wilfried Nancy. So the Columbus Crew manager is on the verge of moving to Scotland to become the next manager of Celtic FC. So Jason, I'm just going to start high level with you here. He was your dude. How do you feel?
Yeah. I mean, he'll still be my dude. He'll just be my dude over in Scotland. I think this is a good move for him. It's really like in my opinion, succeeding at Celtic shouldn't be like the most difficult thing ever, right? That's not the hot take here. It's like one of 2 teams in that league that's probably going to win every single year. But I think where Wilfried Nancy can take this is like to the where can he go after this? So can he win this league, win the Scottish Premier League a few times? Maybe, I don't know. I would think so with the Celtic team.
Maybe not this year with where Celtic's at, but maybe next year for sure, 100%.
Yeah, given a full season, and I think like this could be a really big stepping stone to him at a top league in the world, probably potentially, or eventually.
Yeah.
For the Columbus Crew, it is a huge loss. I think it's like almost as big of a loss as like a DP level player. It's pretty massive loss. I think the Crew are built well enough to have seen this coming, right? Like I think this isn't a front office that I've ever felt is behind, kind of, or surprised by anything. I think no matter who's been in that president spot, what was it, Bezbachenko before it was Tall? Or
Yeah.
there's someone in between, or no?
No, it was Bezbachenko and then Issa Tall.
Issa Tall. Like they've always had this strategy in place, it seemed. And I don't think anyone is that surprised by Wilfried Nancy leaving the Crew. It was pretty much inevitable. We've talked about it plenty of times. He's been so successful there. I've talked enough about Wilfried Nancy over the past 3 years or so. But I think for the Crew, I would probably assume will be okay. Like, this is a team that has managed to find success with a few different managers and seems to know what they want and go out and get it and have plans for things. And they definitely have a plan for this.
Look, I think it was, from Caleb to Greg to, Wilfried Nancy, right? The success has followed the front office from Pezbachenko to Isatal. The success has followed from Cucho Hernandez to Diego Rossi, right? It's
Lucas Zelarayan
before Cucho even, yes, so I think the success will follow this team as long as the parameters that they've put in are continuously in place.
Well,
right?
and I think this this was even more like, this was probably easier to see coming than some of the player moves. I mean, I think some of the player moves they're sort of making, but I don't think anyone at Columbus thought Wilfried Nancy was there for his whole career, and I feel like it was a when not if scenario
100%.
for a long time now. So I don't think this is that surprising, and this was coming for a long time.
And look, just to say, for the Nancy perspective specifically, he has been arguably the best manager in Major League Soccer since 2022 when he was with Montreal, right? Like, he pushed Montreal.
Yeah, it was Montreal's best season in a long time.
Literally pushed Montreal to a conference final. They won a Canadian championship, sold like all of their best players that year. Then he gets the move to Columbus, where he wins MLS Cup, he wins a Leagues Cup. They sell a bunch of players and have all that success. Like, Wilfried Nancy is the standard of what every club should hope.
I think his single game management alone was like worth everything. Like, I think there was no game that I was that that I would ever count them out in. Like, a big game, it was always like, okay, they're probably going to figure out some way to frustrate the opponent.
Yeah.
It didn't always work, but when it did, it was incredible. But I think on the other hand, like, the Crew is a really attractive job for a lot of any type of manager, up and coming or proven. Like, this is a job where you're going to have the support. Like I said before, this is a club that makes decisions like with a plan. They're not.
And the money too.
Yeah, the money. There's a plan in place for everything that the Crew do, and there's a few teams like that in MLS. And those are the teams we probably talk about more than other teams. So I mean, just if your team's one of them, like, it's easy to know. That's why they always have success. So, like, this job, like, going forward is going to be really interesting to see.
How would you feel? And this is totally hypothetical, nothing I've heard, nothing I've seen float around, but it makes, obviously, like, no shit, it makes a bunch of sense. Columbus Crew 2 manager Federico Higuain stepping up into the manager of the Columbus Crew. I love it. Club legend.
I like it. I mean, the thing is, whatever they do, I'm going to sit here and say, okay, like, it's probably the right decision, right? Like, at this point, who am I to question the Crew's motives and decisions? There's some teams that we will sit here and critique, but they deserve it, right? Like, if we're sitting here and critiquing Montreal's managerial decisions, I think it's totally valid. But to sit here and pretend like I know more about managerial decisions than the Columbus Crew, who have just nailed it for 3 straight times, I'm not smarter than them.
My only concern as an MLS fan, as someone who, we cover the league on a weekly basis, when life isn't dragging us down, is like, does this, if this, the big ifs, the move hasn't happened yet, Wilfried Nancy needs to have success with Celtic for it to continue. And like you said, Jason, we've seen managers move from Celtic to larger jobs in Europe. Does it eventually open up the door for, like, top MLS young managers to get, like, kind of picked off into Europe? And is that a bad thing, a good thing? Like,
I don't
Jesse
think
Marsh, it didn't really work out with. ultimately. I think he had some success in Austria, but like everywhere else, not really. Could Wilfried Nancy be the next one to kind of break that open a little bit more and have a little bit more success? I don't know. It's my thought process there.
I
Right?
think it's a good thing. I think like if we're gonna sit here and say like MLS as sort of like a selling sort of league with young players and really boosting that up, I think young managers and American managers going abroad specifically would be a positive thing.
Well,
I
he's
think
not American,
he's
but
not. It's more like it would be nice with an American
yeah.
manager to make those leaps, like Jesse Marsh, and kind of see what happens. But I think just in general, the more success people who start in MLS have in Europe is better for the league. At
For,
least where the league's at right now,
for sure.
because it just raises the. If Wilfried Nancy goes on to have a ton of success in Europe, he's going to be known as like a MLS manager for at least a little while, right? Like people are going to know where he came from.
He's gonna, if let's just say, right, he goes to Celtic and then he goes to like, I don't fucking know, like
Like
Tottenham.
Wolves, Tottenham would be
I
crazy.
mean, Ange fucking moved from Celtic to Tottenham,
True.
right? Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like it happens. If he makes that move, he is going to be like the not so former MLS guy managing Tottenham.
But I think that's a good thing.
I know, and that is a good thing. Yes.
Like when Alphonso Davies is killing it in Champions League, there's a sense of pride that I feel like I have as like he was an MLS guy.
And he barely played in Major League Soccer, but yes, I fully.
I mean, I use just one of the names because it's probably one of the biggest names to have moved, probably the biggest name to have moved from MLS.
I fully agree with you.
I mean, he
Look,
might not have played that long in MLS, but he grew up in an MLS academy.
yes,
That
he was an
says a
MLS
ton
dude.
about the league. If you can have one of the best wingbacks in the entire world come from an MLS academy.
For sure. I fully agree with you.
So I think it's the same thing. Like if you can say, oh, Wilfried Nancy really got his start in MLS and now he's one of the best managers in the world, like let's say in 5 years, I think that's a huge thing for MLS.
Look, Aiden Morris, your guy, has openly said that he thinks Wilfried Nancy, no parameters, not Major League Soccer, not whatever. He thinks Wilfried Nancy is one of the best managers in the world, and I love it.
I'll say it too. I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to see him continue to have success. But if I were just to rank managers based on everything I've seen, leagues being equal, I guess, in this scenario, like I think his success in the way he's gone about it has been incredible. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's many managers in MLS that would rival his tactics and his brain in terms of managing a team.
No, and then the tactics, the style behind it all, it's all such a modern way of viewing the game, and I love it. I would love to see Wilfried Nancy return to Major League Soccer one day, hopefully one day in a very distant future. But between his time with the Columbus Crew and CF Montreal, he holds an all-time record of 109 wins, 48 draws, and 58 losses in 215 games, which is an incredible record. He's pretty much doubled his win to losses in all of that. He's won 3 trophies, an MLS Cup, a Leagues Cup, and a Canadian Championship, like I mentioned, and obviously making that incredible run in 2024 in CONCACAF Champions Cup that got spoiled by, maybe some bad food and whatnot. But we move on. Thank you, Wilfried Nancy, and hopefully, again.
Hopefully we see him doing big things.
Hopefully he's back managing Columbus when he's like 80 years old, and like that's the dream right there. That's the dream. All right, you ready to talk about conference semifinals? Because this past weekend of soccer, Major League Soccer specifically, was so ridiculous in certain.
We said there's going to be some fireworks.
Bro, the fireworks wasn't even a way of talking about the Whitecaps LAFC game, but I will do my best to recap it all for everyone here, I guess. So, Vancouver Whitecaps defeated LAFC in penalty kicks and the Whitecaps are now heading to their first ever conference final, finally getting over the hump of LAFC in the MLS Cup playoffs. So Whitecaps go up 2-0 in the first half behind goals from Emmanuel Sabi and Matias Laborda. And by the way, the Sabi goal from Takaoka's assist was just unbelievable. It was like you love those moments, you really do. In the 60th minute,
Takaoka, my guy.
that is your guy. That's more your guy than Nonce at that point. At this point, in the 60th minute, Hyunmin Son scores a ball off kind of a messy play in the box where the Whitecaps really can't clear it out. Then we get to stoppage time, 2-1. Tristan Blackman picks up
this was wild. Yeah.
Second yellow card, so he gets the red, and it's a clear foul. Dennis Bouanga completely puts Blackman in like a blender. Like he has to make the foul, and Bouanga knew what he was doing 100% in that case. So LAFC go up a man with a few minutes left to try to find the game-tying goal. Off the ensuing free kick, everyone's thinking it. If Hyunmin Son pings this in, like that's ridiculous. He's not going to do it. He hits a beautiful free kick past Takaoka, ties the game at 2-2. The celebration from Son and LAFC was incredible. Love it. It's one of those things that you really feel like Son's here. He cares about it. He's passionate, whatever. So then LAFC dominate extra time. Balls are pinging off the crossbar.
Yeah, I mean, there was that one play. I think Bouanga hit the post twice,
like
right?
4 times in 30 seconds.
Insane. I was like, how is this not a goal?
Someone's like, it's classic FIFA.
And you knew, like, I mean, you'll say the results and stuff, but I really felt like LAFC needed this in like every minute that tacked on was more beneficial to Vancouver.
LAFC should have won the game in extra time easily. It should have happened, and it ball just did not go in back of net. So yeah, LAFC don't score in extra time. Game goes to PKs. Whitecaps eventually pull out the win 4-3 in PKs.
Takaoka. This is a pretty ugly PK shootout, by the way.
It wasn't great. Yeah, I mean,
the whole way it started with just some pretty rough misses.
Son's PK was not good. Like I love how like he can hit a curling, beautiful, free kick banger, and then just a straight up PK is like just ugly so as hell.
Bad, yeah.
And I mean, look, he's
and it's not like a pressure thing because that free kick arguably had way more pressure on the line.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I mean, look, we can talk about this game from many perspectives. I just want to start with the Whitecaps, right? Like I said before, they're moving on to their first ever Western Conference Final. They're now doing it without Tristan Blackman, who's going to be suspended. The center back who subbed in for Blackman, Bilal Hulbani, who's been playing a ton for Blackman at the second half stretch for the Whitecaps. He left this game injured. He tore his ACL, so he's out for the season. The Whitecaps are already down a center back all season long with Ranko Veselinovic out for the year. The Whitecaps are effectively playing Ralph Prizo at center back and then their 4th or 5th level center back next to him in the conference finals versus San Diego.
It's concerning. It's definitely of concern.
But they've done it all year. That's the incredible part.
And they have like enough people in the attack like healthy that it's still a really, really tough team. Like, I don't know. I think with Sebastian Berhalter and Andres Cubas, like, they have some structure there where they're okay with, I don't know, like the way I look at that Tristan Blackman specifically is like, do you sub him off there on a yellow late in the game and just hope for the hold?
No. You need to win that game. You need to have your MLS.
I mean, yeah, but it's a free kick that makes it 1-1, 2-2, and it was like a double.
I mean,
it's revisionist, whatever history. Like, obviously, you want your best players on at all times, and you hope that he's not in the situation to get a second yellow. It's just like, man, if they didn't have him on there, they would have him for this next game, which would be a big deal.
I don't think I think that is a little bit of revisionist history. You're not taking the 2025 MLS defender off the field at the end of the game when Bouanga, Hyunmin Son are running.
Yeah, when they're throwing everything at the goal.
You're not taking effectively who should be your best defender and is their best defender off of the field. But in terms of Like, I think you play that as much as you possibly can, and that's just a moment where Dennis Bouanga is just Dennis
Just
Bouanga.
making a great play, and then Youngmin Son finishing that play. Honestly,
Exactly. Heung-min Son stepping up and taking advantage for what Bouanga created in the 10-man situation. Now, the extra time is the concerning piece to me for LAFC and even Vancouver. Obviously, you're down a man. You're just trying to defend at fucking will, throw your body in front of stuff. It's not one of those situations where you're playing beautiful, tactic soccer. Like, you're just trying to do everything you possibly can to hold on and get to PKs. And the Whitecaps did it with some luck, but they did it, and here they
with
are.
a lot of posts.
A lot of posts, a lot of luck. But look, there was no deserved winner in that game. Both of these teams, if they won that game, I'd be like, yeah, LAFC, they made the comeback. They did it in spectacular fashion. Talent-wise on the field, they're incredible, and they deserve to be in a Western Conference final. Whitecaps, they hung on for dear life. They, overcame injury once again, overcame a Tristan Blackman second yellow card once again, won it in PKs. They've made their runs to finals this year. They deserve to be here. It's just one of those games where it was beautiful. It was so much fun, and the end result was the Whitecaps moving on. That's how I view this game. Like, no team should be hanging their head from this matchup because it was incredible.
Yeah, I don't think the way it ended is as concerning as maybe it would be in some scenarios. I think to where that game got to, Vancouver was really just like, let's get to PKs and win there.
Well, that's how you have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also LAFC is just an incredibly good attacking team, like terrifying. And they had literally nothing to lose at that point. So I don't look at it as like that bad of a finish. I actually think it's pretty positive. They went up 2-0 on LAFC. I mean, letting that back in isn't great, but overall, like, this was an awesome game. Like, what a great game to start off like the round.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we have to talk about it here at this point with LAFC. It is the end of an era for LAFC. Obviously, we've known for months now that Steve Cherundolo, once the season was over, he was going to be leaving the club, heading back to Germany, where his wife is from, and he obviously played his entire playing career. So he's going back to Germany, and now the LAFC spot is vacant. Cherundolo leaves his time with LAFC with 3 trophies, countless finals and semifinals, a lot of wins, and I personally wrote it down here, but I personally view this is the official start to the Heung-min Son era of LAFC. Not that I think he's maybe going to go the full Messi route and dictate everything that happens with the club, but I think he's going to have a lot of say and be able to kind of, manage things how he feels like, a club should be. But I just think LAFC deserve a lot of credit. This was a very congested year for them between, MLS, the Club World Cup, Leagues Cup, everything that they had, and they won a shit ton. They managed it very well, and Cherundolo and this team should be very proud for, I think, what they did in 2026. Not me saying, Jason, that the season was a failure, because that's where I always go. I think this team should be very proud.
A success.
For sure.
I think this is one of the. We're talking about an attractive job. Here's another one. Here's another one in LA. You have Heung-min Son. I agree. I don't think he's going to be as. How do I say it?
Messy,
Messi's been making the right decisions apparently, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's going to be as forceful. I think in the decisions he wants, but there's going to be no shortage of, I think, players and managers lining up for this team.
I think Tom Bogert put it out there, if I'm not mistaken, that it was Bogert. But Mark Dos Santos, the current head assistant at LAFC, is apparently the front runner for the job. Funny enough, former Vancouver Whitecaps manager himself. Right. So it would make sense. LAFC, I mean, literally when Bob Bradley left, right, who took over the job? Steve Cherundolo, who was managing the Las Vegas Lights, who was then LAFC's second team in the USL Championship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
they keep it in. I mean, they know what they're doing. Another team,
100%.
it's another team that you could just like repeat what I said kind of about Columbus. Is just LAFC is another team that just kind of knows what they're doing. They don't do anything like on accident or like at the last minute.
And I
And
think
they've known about this for way longer than we knew about the Nancy stuff.
the only person out there that I'm like LAFC should probably take a run at, but wouldn't work out for everything that he's saying he wants is Jim Curtin. And I don't know. I'm starting to
I don't
think
know if I would like that.
that's fair. That's fine.
I just think it's like it's not. I wouldn't think of that as like the LAFC move.
I agree. I don't think it's like it screams.
And I don't mean it like as a negative to Jim Curtin because we all know his success. But I just feel like it's sort of like a move that a team that doesn't have as much success as LAFC does.
Wow. It's a shot at Jim Curtin right there. No, I'm
Is
joking.
it?
But
I
no,
don't think
it's not.
so.
I personally think you're going to start seeing really good clubs utilize MLS Next Pro, not just for their player development, but I think also coaching development. I think you're going to start to see guys like Wilfried Nancy, who got the opportunity coaching under Thierry Henry at Montreal, move up and get the job, right? We've seen it with Laurent Courtois getting the job. He was great with Columbus Crew too. He gets the job at Montreal. It doesn't work out, whatever about that.
That's
but
a Montreal problem.
you're going to start to see, I think, assistant coaches and MLS Next Pro head coaches who are proving their worth in their organizations, I think, get that next level. And I like it. I like it, and I think it's going to be better than maybe going out after, fucking whatever big name is out on the coaching market that doesn't know Major League Soccer. It fails, and the team's in a worse spot 18 months later. So, we will see what comes down with the LAFC. But I just wanted to say a good season.
I mean, I think what I'm looking forward to is oftentimes when we talk about new managers, it's often with teams that are really not great, like
Yeah,
DC,
this is a
Montreal.
different situation.
We get two new managers likely in the next couple months that we really get to dive deep on, and they're going to be coaching with a lot of expectations. So I think that's going to be fun.
It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be different kinds of hires that we don't normally see, unless like fucking Pep Guardiola is coming into DC United. I don't really know.
Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp to LAFC, make it happen. He already has the hat.
Red Bull, right?
Yeah, well, true. LA would be fun. Would be a fun.
Yeah, but he's head of the all of soccer for Red Bull.
Whatever. Yeah, he's never leaving that job.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably an insane check and probably not an insane amount of work.
No, unless like Real Madrid or Barcelona comes calling, I feel like he's just chilling at the head of Red Bull and will enjoy his life. The dream, though.
Yeah.
The dream for him to be in LAFC. All right. Inter Miami, they dominate their matchup against FC Cincinnati. A 4-0 win in Ohio. Game starts off in the 14th minute with Lionel Messi scoring a header in the box, which we've seen now 2 Messi headers in the last few weeks. Gotta love it.
Did he just unlock more?
Messi just upgraded.
Yeah, he installed an upgrade.
The skill tree is growing. Then Messi gets on his creative tear, and he hits 3 straight assists on goals to Silvetti, who started in place of Luis Suarez, and then to Deo Allende twice. Javier Mascherano took his balls and he was like, Luis Suarez, you're sitting on the bench.
Is it his balls? Because I was thinking about this too. Like, oh wow, that was a bold move to leave Suarez on the bench to start the game. But also, like, he's probably got so much protection by Messi, like he can kind of do whatever he wants.
I don't like can we give Javier Mascherano some love really quick? Because I don't think he's gotten enough of it in 2025, and I think he deserves it. Clearly, right, like it's very reported out there that Lionel Messi, his camp, control a lot of what happens with Inter Miami. Oscar Ustari starting in net for most of 2025 for Miami was clearly a Messi pull. And then
didn't love it.
Since they've started Rocos Rio Novo in net over Ustari, which kind of feels like a Mascherano decision.
It's a good decision.
They've been fantastic defensively. since Suarez got himself suspended and then now he comes back and doesn't start next to Messi, which seems like a Mascherano decision, they've been
You
scoring and
think he's
looking.
making that type of decision though without Messi?
I think it could possibly be a point where he was like, "We need to win. These are the
That's
decisions to
true.
win."
Also, if there's anyone that's going to stand up to Messi's camp, it's going to be someone like
It's a
Mascherano.
Mascherano, a Busquets, and
Yeah,
Alba.
like it's really.
Those guys, 100%.
I want to give us some props here. Well, first of all, actually, yeah, Mascherano I think does deserve a lot of credit, but at the same time, it's really difficult to like suddenly start praising Mascherano when Messi has 22 out of 25 goal contributions in
Fair,
the last
that's a
7
fair
games.
point. That's a fair
Um,
point.
I don't mean it to take away from him because I agree. I think he has made good decisions and he's managed well across the season.
The
I just
team's
think
gotten a lot better.
his managing isn't making Messi have 22 goal contributions in 7 games.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, that number is
can't
just
even make a joke.
genuinely absurd.
I can't even make a joke. Yeah, you're right.
I do want to give us props because I think we absolutely nailed this game in the preview because it played out almost exactly like we thought.
Yeah,
Where the firepower of Miami is always going to be there. I mean, we basically said Messi is like a guaranteed 2 goal contributions. Well, here's 4, right? Um, and the thing about Cincinnati, which like it feels like I don't think they're good, but I really do think they're a good team. It's just they're one of those teams that at times look so stalled. Like they look so far on the back foot where it is kind of like Evander, go do something. And if he can't, which he had a pretty bad game, nothing's happening. Kevin Denke has been good. Brenner has been good. Evander has been great this season. It's just they need all 3 to play at like superstar levels because they're not like creating a team type of goal very often.
Cincinnati, I will say they wildly disappoint me. They should be much better than what they were, and even against Columbus, this entire playoff, Cincinnati should have been much better than what they were. Um, you have Denke, who was the league record signing before Emmanuel Latte-Loth comes in, and yes, maybe he needs a year to adjust or whatnot, but kind of falling a little short. Brenner, I think, was the only one that really put the team on his back a little bit, and then Evander. I mean, Evander's now played in 5 MLS playoff games. If you look to the 4 this year, and then the 1 last year with Portland, 0 goals and 0 assists. This is a dude who has over 30 goal contributions in every full season I think he's played within Major League Soccer. Like, you are being paid, you are the DP, you are the star, you need to be the man that looks like as close to Lionel Messi as you can out there, and you're creating and you're scoring and
Yeah.
be that piece.
I mean, no one's hitting those type of numbers, but like a goal contribution a game is kind of what you need out of a star in the playoffs.
And I will not even sit here and say I think FC Cincinnati's issue is anything defensively, though they got burnt this game fucking left and right. I think against most teams in Major League Soccer, FC Cincinnati hold up very, very well defensively under what Pat Noonan does with this team. But you need Denke, Brenner, Evander, and anyone else that you have kind of floating around that attack to be the offensive output that you signed them to be, and they purely weren't. Like, straight up, the 3 stars did not do the thing that they needed their stars to do, which would have taken a lot of pressure off their defense and maybe puts Miami back on their heels a little bit, and Miami was able to run free a majority of this game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to add because this was kind of like a beatdown.
Yeah,
I think you kind of nailed it. Like, I don't think this is like a really bad defensive performance from Cincinnati. I think it's just like when this is the type of performance you're getting from Messi, I don't think they're beatable.
I mean, it wasn't a good defensive performance. I will
No. I mean, it wasn't a good performance at all around. I mean,
yeah.
They didn't play. You don't lose 4-0 and have anything really coming out of that game positive.
I will just finish up with my point of kind of hammering it home. 4 playoff games this year, right? Cincinnati played 3 against Columbus and then this one against Miami. Between Denke, Brenner, and Evander, 3 goals, 0 assists. That's it. Like,
I mean,
not,
technically, like on aggregate, like this team wasn't even. It really, I don't think they were that good.
I mean, Wilfried Nance literally said across 3 games we outscored Cincinnati, but they move on and we don't. Like, it's
I
funny.
mean, yeah, I think that's sort of a cop out because like that's literally how the playoff scenario, like format is. So,
Yes,
and
but
they
it's
know
not.
the format. But yeah, they won 5-3 technically on aggregate over 3 games.
I'm just saying,
Um,
you
so they
expected
scored 3 goals in 4 games, and they gave up
a lot.
9
Yeah,
in 4 games.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's not a good. That's not great. I think
No.
even in the Columbus series, they kind of didn't look amazing.
I would expect for Cincinnati, I would just say, I would expect some major changes this offseason. I think cutting a lot of the fat of this roster. I'm not going to get into specific names.
Yeah, after saying that.
I'm just saying, I think there's some dudes on this roster who eat up a little bit of a salary, or just maybe a backup role or two that I'm just like, yeah, like I don't expect you back in 2025, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, I think they definitely need to make some changes. Like I feel like the playoffs have been disappointing for multiple years now.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been 3 straight years. Pat Noonan's been there for 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe
I'm not sitting here saying Pat Noonan should be gone. I know some FC Cincinnati fans are saying that.
I will sit here and say I think they should, like, not just say, "Oh, no chance." Like,
No
at
job
what
should
point
ever
do you
be.
start saying you have like they have the talent? This isn't a team that doesn't have the talent to win an MLS Cup.
I didn't think we'd get into a passionate FC Cincinnati talk, but I'm here for it.
I'm
I
simply
agree.
and I like Pat Noonan. I think he's a good coach, and I'm usually the kind of person that's like, why are we firing a manager if you don't, unless you know you can get something better? But at a certain point,
What's better than Pat Noonan right now? Again, Jim Curtin. Like I'm not.
this is a team that I would be okay with Jim Curtin going.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying it's not too long ago that this team was the by far worst team in Major League
Right.
Soccer.
And let's be clear to the people out there. I'm not saying Pat Noonan should be gone.
Jason
I'm
hates
simply
Pat
saying
Noonan.
that they shouldn't just write it off as he's coming back regardless. Like, I
I
think they need
agree.
to look at everything in their club to try and fix whatever the issues are,
Yeah.
which might be multiple things. And I don't think Pat Noonan is totally absolved of any of the faults here. Is
My only
all I'm going to say.
caveat is I think unless you win MLS Cup, I think every team should be doing that every offseason anyway. But yes,
Yeah,
I
but there's
do
teams that have bigger expectations than other teams. And
for sure.
Cincinnati is one that has big expectations. Like in the same way we talk about Columbus even or Miami, LAFC, the Galaxy you could probably put in this category. I think you could probably put Atlanta even though they've been really quite up and down.
Expectations don't always align with performance.
Right, but the teams that have expectations are pretty obvious. And Cincinnati is one of those teams that at this point in their history, I know they started off quite bad, but they're at a point where they are every single year they are going to be competing for supporter shields, for top of the East, which comes with the expectation of going far in MLS playoffs.
Yeah.
So
And it's an expectation their own owners and everyone holds them to for
no,
sure.
I mean I think every team should aspire to have those types of expectations.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like it should be a standard. We should have more teams doing that in coming up short than teams who are obviously content with being mediocre.
Let's go to 2 teams that I don't really know where they fall on that scale. I don't think mediocre, but I also don't think maybe top of the top, and that's New York City and the Philadelphia Union. So NYCFC, and you guys, if you listened to last week's episode, you know, and if you didn't, please go back and listen. You know, as a New York City fan, I was expecting to come onto this podcast and saying how it was a good year and a great first year under Pat Jansen, and
He was reverse jinxing it. Don't let
I
him do
was
it again.
just like I did during MLS Cup 2021 run. Reverse jinxed it all the way to the final, baby. But
Well, good luck this year.
New York City go into Philadelphia and knock off the Supporter Shield winning Union in a 1-0 absolute, no other description that I can call this game but a fucking fist fight. The Union lose their second ever game at home this season, and that includes all competitions, to keep the Supporter Shield curse alive. A fantastic showing from Matt Freese, Maxi Morales, and Nico Fernandez. Matt Freese had 5 saves in the shutout and some absolute big time, what would Mauricio Pochettino say? Big ball type saves. Maxi Morales scoring the game winner in the 27th with some absolute 38-year-old pushing maximum effort for a majority of this game.
This was a total effort win for NYC.
This
was a complete, we aren't going to go down easily, if at all. And they put all 11 just went, if we die out here, we die out here. I feel like that's what it was. If we die, we die. But we're going down with the ship.
You're
they
not
went
wrong.
all out.
That is the best way, I think, to describe this game, is if we
That's
die.
how I felt watching it. I was like, oh my God, this team is they're just refusing.
It was maximum effort mixed with Matt Freese, unbelievable in that.
And a little shithousery, which is great.
A little, but I will say, and maybe this is just where I'm at this point, New York City FC versus the Philadelphia Union feels like a bigger rivalry game than New York City versus the Red Bulls. That's just what it feels like at this point.
Some Red Bulls fans might take offense to that.
They might take offense to that, and I'm not saying that as offense, but I'm saying the MLS Cup run in 2021. I'm saying in 2022 when the Union eliminated us. The fucking trainer for the Union getting into a fist fight with NYCFC players in 2020.
Look, Philly and New York have never liked each other, so it's not like this is anything new.
This just feels like a great rivalry that
I will say we had a Hudson River Derby rivalry games in the playoffs last season that were also pretty good.
It's not to say that Red Bull New York City isn't a great rivalry.
That's fair. They're two good rivals.
There's something about the actual what has happened on the field between Union and New York City that I'm like
one of those. It's being built not because MLS wants,
not because of location. And we're throwing a name on it. Yeah. For sure, 100%. But going back to the game, right? New York City didn't have Alonso Martinez, didn't have Andres Perea, Keaton Parks, Aiden O'Neill was suspended for this one. Everyone stepped up. The one moment that I just want to shout out for Union fans, that Andre Blake save. Nico Fernandez saw Blake out of net from his own half. He was like,
he almost died. He actually, if he died, he died.
Andre Blake was, if I die, I die.
Yeah.
Andre Blake at 35 years old, sprinting back to his own net to make a save and clearly fucking injuring himself to keep the Union only at a 1-goal deficit. That's why he is the greatest MLS goalkeeper of all time. And if anyone challenges me on that, sorry, Nick Raimondo, sorry, whoever else you want to throw in that category. It's Andre Blake. It's Andre Blake.
I mean, I am a huge Andre Blake fan, so I'm fine with it.
Well, is there anything outside of me continuing to glaze?
I mean, I enjoyed that recap. I think I think I added what I needed to by saying this was just a complete, really, really good, hard earned win for New York. I think going into it, and Philly has not impressed me that much all playoffs, even against the Fire, even when they did win 3-0 at the Fire. It just was not. I don't know if I would say it's not the same Philly. I just wasn't as convinced. I think I'd probably pick New York. I think I said I'd pick New York if everyone's healthy, but I didn't expect that type of effort. So props to you guys. I think that just keep going.
We said it. I said it last year with the Red Bulls, I remember. And then I didn't say it last episode, but I think it still holds true this year of that pressing style, I think, is a great way. You can win a supporter shield and you can have a very strong year. But I think eventually that pressing style burns out, and we see it every playoffs. Whether it's the Red Bulls, whether it's the Union, whether it's any other team that's tried to implement it, it eventually phases out. But let's continue to the final conference semifinal game. San Diego FC hosting Minnesota United in the absolute looked like remnants of a war zone of a college football game. But San Diego took down the Loons 1-0. This was maybe the worst of the 4 games, I will sit here and say. Not that it was a bad game, but just in terms of like excitement and action, definitely the least. Pretty tight affair for a majority of the game. Both teams really didn't get too many opportunities. I will just say San Diego, some amazing defensive moments. Ian Pilcher and Manu Dua, like, this is probably the point where we haven't talked about San Diego enough in 2025, Jason. But those two, outside of stepping
I
up,
know I have not talked about them enough. I'll own it.
those two were fantastic in this game. And then who else but Anders Dreyer, right, slamming home that ball after a flicked little header back from Corey Baird into the box. And San Diego continue the greatest expansion season of all time. And they are
Hey.
they are in. I will say it.
Settle down.
Most points.
There's an expansion team that won a trophy, won MLS Cup.
When there was like 10 teams in the league.
All right. I'll leave. I'll leave right now. You want to do the last 15 minutes?
All right. San Diego.
I think people in Atlanta might be talking shit too.
San Diego continue one of the best expansion seasons. It's the best all time. And they're in a conference final against the Vancouver Whitecaps. And they're hosting the conference final against the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Is Andres Dreyer the best player you've ever seen at just like picking the loose ball out in the box and putting it in the back of the net? Because
if his name's
I feel like I see that all the time.
If you can remove Lionel Messi from the list, then yes, okay. I think literally Anders Dreyer would have been the MVP if Lionel Messi didn't exist, right? He was number 2. He's best 11. He is that good. And not turning this into a Vancouver Whitecaps point, but that's where I do get concerned. Is the Whitecaps held on for dear life against Sun and Buanga? Who do you have coming to town this week? Is Anders Dreyer, or who are you going to this week?
I mean, they're going to go into this game though with a different. They're not going to have to hang on from the first minute. Hopefully, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to try and play their game a little bit.
I agree, but you have Anders Dreyer, Amal Pellegrino.
Look, to get where we are is not going to be easy.
What do you mean?
Like, you're going to have to play some real tough teams and really good players.
Oh, yes. At this point of the year, you're playing the best of the best. Before we get to the Western Conference Final, any Minnesota takes do we want to throw out there that we haven't already said this year? Because I feel we've talked a lot of Minnesota.
I kind of wish Tani Oluwaseyi never got traded or left, transferred mid-season.
Agree.
And I think at the time I said I kind of just wish that they kept him for the whole season because I think he's a special player and they could have actually done more.
Just like a loan back for the year until it was over or something.
Something like that. Yeah, like it just felt unnecessary to me, but I think that really derailed their season. Like that specific move changed
100%.
So much for them, and they just never got. Because this is a good team. I think they'll be a good team going into next year too, but they clearly need to fill that hole going into next year or they're just going to struggle because it's just a different team than it was mid-season. This was a scary team mid-season.
This is the top team in the Western Conference type of team. It's
one of those this team is terrifying. Like they're going to, and it feels like they almost punted the season away. And I felt that way at the time too. And it actually ended up sort of being the reason they lose these games.
Yeah, we did say that at the time. And just my only point on Minnesota is the same way that I felt about Wilfried Nancy for a while is the same way I feel about Eric Ramsey. He is not long for Major League Soccer.
No.
And
I don't think he ever was, though. He was the backup or the assistant at Manchester United.
Well, what I'm saying is
he was never going to stay here for a long time.
I can see a championship club coming calling pretty soon.
That's like keep Tani, win a trophy, let him go. Because he's going either way.
I agree. I fully agree.
I still don't understand why that had to happen mid-season. I don't think that was. You know what? Align the seasons with Europe because then that doesn't happen.
How do we fix this, Jason? God. All right.
If only they would align the season with Europe, so Tani could have played the whole season.
Let's talk about the conference finals this upcoming weekend. We'll start with the West since we're on the Western train right now. But Saturday, November 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern, San Diego FC will be hosting the Vancouver Whitecaps at Snapdragon Stadium in beautiful San Diego, California. The San Diego at home this year has been really good, and this includes playoffs: 10 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses.
And it's just in general been good.
Well, the Whitecaps have also, in general, been really good. 8 wins, 6 draws, 4 losses on the road this year. San Diego does lead I guess it is technically all-time, even though it's the only year they've played.
All-time and this
All-time and season record of 1 win, 1 draw versus the Whitecaps. Anders Dreyer does have 3 assists in those 2 games. In their last 5, San Diego has 4 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses, 13 goals for, and 3 against. Let's talk about San Diego's defense. And then in the Whitecaps' last 5, 2 wins, 2 draws, a loss, 9 goals for, 6 goals against. Thomas Mueller with 3 goals in those games, and it's just been a fist fight for Vancouver ever since decision day. Really, it feels like. We've been kind of talking about it. We've been kind of hinting at it. This is a beat up Vancouver side. San Diego been dealing with their own injuries as well. I think it comes down to kind of similar maybe to Miami, Cincinnati from last week, of which star really puts him over the edge. Is it Thomas Mueller? Is it Anders Dreyer? And then, kind of what other form of Brian White do we get? What form of Chucky Lozano do we get? Something like that to see who really kind of pairs
Sebastian Berhalter?
I mean, sure, right? We can get down all to that, but I just personally feel like goals are going to be scored in this game. I know San Diego's been really good defensively in their last few weeks, but I personally feel like this is going to be a little bit more of an open game than we normally see from these teams.
Yeah, I mean, my pick already. I selected you today, but I think for this game, I don't even know how to talk about this game. This Vancouver team has always been they started off incredible, have been dealing with injuries in and out of the lineup all year because of probably the amount of games they've had to play.
They've made it to a final already. There's 2 finals already.
They've played massive games. They just came out of a huge game versus LAFC, which, I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that LAFC was a much harder competition than Minnesota in this last round. Thomas Mueller has been an amazing addition in terms of just everything. I think I talked about it last week. Just vibes in general have been great.
The vibes high.
Vibes are high. Goals are high. What a guy. I just this is one of those teams that I feel like is on this run that I don't want to pick against, because there's a lot of talent. I know the center back issues are going to be there because of unfortunate circumstances in many ways for many people.
A lot of unfortunate.
Yeah. Just which ones we talking about? And I have been kind of not on the San Diego bandwagon at all, which, hey, I've not had a good track record these playoffs, so maybe this is your for the listeners, your time to go bet on San Diego.
This is Jason just sticking with his bad picks.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not picking San Diego to win MLS Cup, regardless.
no matter the result.
Well, maybe if one team beats Miami.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. We'll get there when we get there. I guess my point is just I'm picking Vancouver. I think, to me, Vancouver is really strong, pretty deep of a team, even with injuries. I know most of those injuries have sort of happened in one location on the field, but they've been dealing with in and out all season. They've played massive games all season, all year. It feels like this team has taken so many punches and played in so many big games to the point where I have a different confidence with Vancouver than I would have had in previous years, especially getting past LAFC. That was a monkey on the back moment. So yeah, I mean, San Diego's been awesome. Anders Dreyer deservedly won newcomer of the year, I think.
Yeah.
He was just exceptional. He's been, I mean, if Messi's not in the league, he's probably MVP. He's incredible. But I will be going with Vancouver.
Look, I don't disagree with a single word you said about Vancouver. It's been next man up. It's been a fantastic season. Canadian Championship, CONCACAF Champions Cup. Like they've balanced it all and they've been absolutely wonderful. Even with no Mueller for half the
They
season.
won down in Mexico.
They won in Mexico. Brian White, who's arguably the best player on this team, has been in and out. They've been with
Ryan Gold was basically missed all season.
They transferred away Pedro Vite in the middle of the year, who we thought was going to be a detriment to the year. They've
Actually,
had a guy.
wait. I'm going to stop you there. I think I called him their X Factor at the beginning of the
season. they've had a guy like Sebastian Berhalter step up to be a best 11 guy, and Kubas has been fantastic. My concern for this team is this is maybe the thinnest the center back position has actually gotten all year long.
They got Takaoka back there.
They got Takaoka.
6 to 8 save performance coming in.
I personally think if one of these defenders gets into card trouble early, and I bet your ass San Diego is going to be going at them a little bit, things get a little iffy for what Jesper Sorensen's going to try to create for Vancouver. And everything that I just said about Vancouver, I think you could pretty much replicate for San Diego. A ton of injuries, guys out for the year, a brand new manager, guys who have been kind of stepping in when needed.
Brand new team.
You have a brand new team. You have the star of this team, a guy like Dreyer, who we've been talking about a ton. Since Amal Pellegrino has come in, he's obviously taken over Chucky Lozano's spot, and he's been on fire. I am going with San Diego in this game. They're at home. I think the season continues. I think there's so many stars on this team that get overlooked only because they're probably an expansion team. The outside of Anders Dreyer and Chucky Lozano is what I'm saying there. So I love what Mikey Varas has done. I'm giving it to San Diego, and I think they would host MLS Cup at Snapdragon Stadium in their first ever year, which is an incredible story if it happens.
I think that's fair.
I am typing as that happens. This is going to be the best game of the two, though. Is that fair?
I would agree. I think they're closer in terms of talent.
A 1 seed and a 2 seed are closer than a 3 and a 5. Yes, that is true.
A 3 that is totally not a 3.
All right, the other game, Eastern Conference Final. Inter Miami will be hosting New York City FC Saturday, November 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern down at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Inter Miami at home this season, 13 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. New York City away this season has been pretty good as well, 9 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses if you include playoffs for both of those records. New York City does lead the all-time matchup series or whatever. 8 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses there, but Miami do lead the season series with a win and a draw. Messi, obviously, is Lionel Messi. He has 5 goal contributions in those 2 games against New York City this year. In their last 5 games, Miami has 4 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss, 17 goals for and 5 against. New York City, in their last 5 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 6 goals for, 3 against. Their defense has been quietly not talked about for New York City. Not that that's really going to matter when Lionel Messi steps on the field, but this is a similar story to last podcast last week. This is an absolute beat-up New York City team that has been a good team that has made it to this point through pure energy and effort. And they are going to have to double or triple that effort, I think, to do what they did against Philly, against Miami.
You need Matt Freese to just become, I don't even know.
You need Matt Freese
Can he triple? Can he clone him 3 times? And just
Ter Stegen in that. And, yeah, it's – I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean,
I do know, but I don't know how to say it.
Personally, just think, like, this feels like a year where Messi's like, we've come up short too much in MLS Cup. Yeah. I'm winning it this year. And the performances that are being put in are genuinely, like, almost incomprehensible, if that's a word. Like, just insane. Like I'm watching this, like surely he doesn't do it again. And boom, there's goal number 3 with an assist from Messi.
Surely he doesn't have another full 4 goal contributions in him in this game.
It's genuinely insane. They put up this stat, and I said it earlier. Like 22 of their last 25 goals have been Messi contributions in 7 games.
He has 14 goal contributions in their last 5 games. Like,
yeah, it's a ridiculous number. It's to the point where like, is NYCFC scoring 3? Because if not, you're not winning.
not
And
at
like, I think that's kind of where it comes down to it. I think even a fully healthy NYCFC team is having trouble here. A non-healthy New York City team is tough.
I challenge you on the fully healthy part, but
I think fully healthy they'll be better. I'm just saying it would be.
Parks is a wildly forgot about midfielder in this.
I think the only way to beat this team with Messi playing like this is to just frustrate him beyond belief. Get in his head, kick him, knock him down, see what the ref will give you. Get 13 yellow cards. That's probably impossible.
I will say this.
Without subs.
New York City did that against the Philadelphia Union. Obviously,
right.
The Union don't have Lionel Messi.
Well, that's what, like, I think you guys have the layout for how it could work. It's just you did it against a Philly team, and now you have to do it against someone who literally cannot be stopped.
I think New York City need to do exactly what they did against the Union and hope that it's an absolute perfect set of circumstances around everything else.
Yeah.
Like Tavon Gray needs to do what Tavon Gray did last game and be an absolute fucking menace.
Like order a bunch of oxygen to keep in your locker room at half because you're going to need it.
Like it's I don't know. I really hate talking about Inter Miami sometimes because I'm like, there's not much to say.
There really isn't, and it's not that. It's crazy to watch. Like, and as someone who just like, it's like amazing what is happening, but at the same time, it's like so annoying. Like, what am I supposed to say? If Messi's putting in 4 goal contributions, who's beating them?
I will say this: the opportunities that New York City allowed against the Philadelphia Union, where the Union could have had one and it was a big Matt Freese save or whatever it may be, Miami are going to finish those. And that is, I think, the detriment and the piece where New York City can't replicate the Union upset in this game.
Well, and if you're following, like, you have to be careful because if you're within 20 yards, Messi can score and has plenty of times. So
literally,
it's like, it's one of those things where you have to be so careful, but also kind of be bruisers.
I can see it being a game where like New York City maybe keeps it close for a half. Like it's a 1-goal difference at the half or something like that.
I could see that. And they're going all out and then maybe they get gassed or something.
And then it's like a second half. It's like it ends up being like a 4-1 win.
Was that how the Cincy game went though? What was it at half 1-0?
It was 1-0 at the half, yeah.
Yeah, and then they blew the doors open.
I could see it being very similar to that. Because I don't know. I don't know. I'm upset, but I don't know.
Look, I mean, to get to where you got to is impressive regardless, and to have a chance in this game is also cool. Like I think I'm going to pick Miami, and I think they're just too good at the moment because of mainly Messi, but like I wouldn't rule out any potential upset here.
No, I think ruling out anything in Major League Soccer is a fool's thing to do. I couldn't think of the right wording there. But I agree with you. I think it would be a mistake to rule out any kind of upset here. I just think Messi's on some run that we've never seen, and no matter the performance that Nico Fernandez and Maxi Morales and Hannes Wolf throw out there, I think is going to match what needs to be done to get Inter Miami eliminated, especially at home. With saying all of that, I'm going New York City FC.
I respect it.
Thank you, sir. So I have New York City, you have Inter Miami, I have San Diego, you have Vancouver. Jason, our picks these playoffs. I'm 12-2 in 14 games. You are 7-7. How are you feeling about your performance out there?
It's been bad, guys. I mean, I'll take 5,500. Like, It's hard. It's hard
500
out
is
here.
really not bad. It's really not
I don't feel bad about 500. I feel bad about it because of how good I was last year, and it feels like you took my powers, which is kind of rude.
bad.
Um, but regardless, like I'm feeling good with my picks this week. We'll talk next week, and maybe I will feel less good. And if that's the case, I'll be very happy for you.
Thank you. I really do hope my picks come true. At least one of my picks come true.
I really hope one of your picks comes true also, and I hope it's the New York City one.
I think like 99% of MLS fans out there listening are hoping that New York City win, which is really funny that everyone like hates Miami and Messi so much that they're like they want City Football Group.
I don't even really hate it necessarily. It's more like it just feels like so much firepower. Like at this point, it's like they're playing at a different level.
I will just say, and this is coming from a New York City fan, there would be part of me that would be kind of upset if Lionel Messi eventually retires not an MLS Cup champion. Do I want that to be at the expense of New York City in 2025? No, but
I think he's winning MLS Cup this year, man. Honestly,
that's fine.
We'll see.
That's fine. We will see. Next week we cover and preview MLS Cup. It is it's another fun one.
It's crazy. We have one game left to preview. We have 3 total games left to watch.
One left to preview. That's it. All right. Well, folks, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Another fun episode. I'm glad that we got to have a calmer episode this week, Jason. Yeah. And enjoy the conference finals. And we will be back next week to talk all things MLS Cup. I will pull some strings and see if I can maybe get a guest and someone who's been a former player, current player, coach, something like that. We'll see what strings Tom Sweezy can pull, and we'll take it from there. But, Jason, we will talk next week, sir.
Oh, yeah.